What prayer does to your brain and why it works. Science meets the gospel. What if prayer is also a neural technology? Have you ever wondered if prayer actually does something? Or if it's just talking to the ceiling, hoping for the best? You've probably had moments where you prayed with all your heart, felt peace for a while, then life hit you again. And maybe you secretly asked yourself, is this really doing anything, or am I just comforting myself? Today, we're going to look at prayer from two angles at once. The gospel side, faith, relationship with God, trust. And the science side, your brain, your nervous system, your subconscious mind. Because once you understand what prayer does inside your brain, you start to see why some ways of praying calm you, focus you, and change your behavior, while others keep you stuck in fear and worry. If you've ever felt like you don't know how to pray or God doesn't hear me, stay with me. What you'll discover in the next minutes might completely change the way you pray from tonight. Chapter 1. How we usually think about prayer. For many of us, prayer was presented in a very simple way. You have a problem. You talk to God about the problem. You ask Him to fix it. If it works, God answered. If it doesn't, God said no, or you didn't have enough faith. This model focuses entirely outside of you. God is up there. You are down here. And prayer is like sending a message to a distant place. But inside your head, something else is happening at the same time. When you pray, your brain is processing words, pictures, and emotions, activating old memories and beliefs, sending signals to your body, heart, breathing, muscles, hormones. In other words, every prayer session is also a brain training session. Whether you feel it or not, your brain is learning from what you repeat. This is important. This is real. This is how we see the world. So, if your prayer is 10 minutes of pure worry, your brain hears, danger, danger, danger. We're not safe. If your prayer is 10 minutes of trust, gratitude, and emotional surrender, your brain hears, we have support. We can calm down. We can act differently. The question is not just, is God listening? The question is also, what is my brain learning every time I pray? To see this more clearly, we need a quick, simple tour inside the brain. Chapter 2, a simple tour of your brain during prayer. Don't worry, no complicated neuroscience here. Just enough to understand what's going on. Think of three main regions. The fear center, the amygdala. This part of your brain constantly scans for danger. When it thinks something is wrong, it triggers anxiety, racing thoughts, tight chest, higher heart rate. The thinking and decision center, the prefrontal cortex, right behind your forehead. It helps you focus, think about the future, control impulses, make wise decisions. The me network, default mode network. This is the brain activity involved in self-talk, daydreaming, replaying the past, worrying about the future. Now imagine two types of prayer. Type A, worry prayer. You pray like this. Lord, I'm scared. What if this goes wrong? What if I lose everything? What if they leave me? What if I fail? What if? You are talking to God, yes. But inside, your amygdala is on fire. Your body is rehearsing fear. Your me network is focused on danger, weakness, and worst-case scenarios. You finish praying more tense than before. You love God, but your nervous system is still in fight or flight. Type B, aligned prayer. You still talk about your situation, but you move toward trust. I don't control everything, but I'm not alone. Gratitude. Even in this storm, here's what still works, what still exists. Surrender. I will do my part. The rest I put in your hands. Now other parts of the brain become more active. The prefrontal cortex calms and organizes your thinking. Networks linked with empathy, compassion, and connection light up. Your heart rate slows, breathing deepens, muscles relax. Outwardly, both people are praying. Inwardly, their brains are having very different experiences. This is why two Christians can both say, I pray, but live with completely different levels of peace, clarity, and courage. Now let's see what modern studies have observed in people who pray and meditate regularly. Chapter 3. What studies say: prayer, meditation, and the brain. Over the last decades, researchers have put people into brain scanners while they meditate, recite prayers, practice compassion or gratitude, focus on a loving presence. They consistently find a few patterns, kept very simple here. Fear center calms down. With regular contemplative prayer meditation, activity in the amygdala tends to decrease. People report less anxiety, better emotional control. Attention and self-control strengthen. Areas in the prefrontal cortex become more active and better connected. Result: better focus, better decision-making, less impulsive reaction to stress. Sense of connection increases. Some networks tied to self-centered rumination decrease, while regions linked to empathy and connection increase. Many people describe feeling less alone, feeling held, feeling more open and loving. In plain language, when you practice a calm, focused, trusting form of prayer, your brain literally changes. You become less reactive, more stable, more capable of acting with wisdom instead of panic. Now here's the beautiful part. The gospel has been inviting us into this kind of posture for centuries. Do not be anxious about anything. Come to me, all who are weary. Cast all your cares upon him. Be still and know that I am God. So the question becomes, how can we intentionally pray in a way that matches what we now know about the brain? Let's build a simple, practical method together. Chapter 4. A simple, 4-step way to pray with your brain and your faith aligned. Here's a practical framework you can use whether you are praying for health, money, relationships, or guidance. Think of these as 4 moves that align your spirit plus brain plus body. Step 1. Calm the body first. Before you speak, breathe. Sit or lie down comfortably. Take 3-5 slow, deep breaths. Inhale through the nose, counting to 4. Hold for 2. Exhale slowly through the mouth, counting to 6. Why? Because this signals your nervous system. We are safe enough to think clearly. It turns down the volume on the amygdala so your prayer doesn't start from pure panic. You can say silently, Lord, as I breathe in, I receive your peace. As I breathe out, I release my tension. Step 2, address God is present, not distant. Instead of picturing a cold, faraway judge, picture a loving father, a close friend, or simply a presence that surrounds and holds you. Speak like this. Father, I know you are here, even if I don't feel it right now. Jesus, you see exactly what I'm going through. This changes how your brain frames the situation. From I am alone in danger to I am accompanied in difficulty. That shift alone reduces anxiety and creates space for new solutions. Step 3, state the situation. Honestly, then reframe. Be honest. Here is what I'm afraid of. Here is where I feel lost. Here is what hurts. Don't fake positivity. God can handle your truth. But then, add a second movement. Even in this, here is what is still possible. Here is what I still have. Life, breath, people who care, skills, time. Here is how I choose to trust you in this situation. This is not denial. It is reframing. You acknowledge reality, but you refuse to let fear be the only lens. Your brain stops looping only on danger and begins to search for options, resources, and support. Step 4. Ask clearly, then release. Now formulate a clear, simple request. Lord, guide me to the next right step in this situation. Provide the opportunity I need to work and support my family. Heal what is broken in my mind and heart, and show me what action to take. Then add a release. I will do what I can. I trust you for what I cannot control. At the brain level, this step is powerful. You commit to action, not passivity. You reduce the illusion that you must control every outcome. You give your subconscious mind a direction. Find next steps instead of stay in fear. Now let's put this into practice. With a short guided prayer you can repeat daily. Chapter 5, Guided Scientific Prayer. Use this every day. You can read this exactly as a guided segment in your video. Wherever you are, if you can, close your eyes for a moment. Take a slow, deep breath in and out. Again. In and out. One more time. In and out. Now, become aware of your body, your feet touching the ground, your hands resting where they are. Say silently or out loud, Father, I know you see me right now. You know exactly what is happening in my life. You know the fears I don't say out loud, the thoughts that keep me awake, the questions I avoid. Bring to your mind one situation that worries you the most. Just one. Name it before God. Lord, this is what I'm afraid of. This is what I don't understand. This is where I feel weak. Now, gently shift your focus. Ask yourself, even in this situation, what is still here? What is not broken? Maybe you still have your breath, a roof, one friend, a skill, time, the simple fact that you are still alive and able to learn. Say, thank you for what still exists in my life. Thank you for the things I usually ignore. My breath, my body, my mind, the people who care, the opportunities I cannot yet see. Feel, even just a little, that you are not facing this alone. Now make your request clear. Lord, I ask you specifically for help in this situation. Show me the next right step. Open the right door. Close the wrong one. Give me the courage to act on what you show me. And now release. I will do my part. I will take small steps. The rest I place in your hands. I choose to trust that you are working even when I don't see it. Take one more deep breath. Imagine this situation no longer as a wall, but as a path. You may not see the full road, but you can see enough for the next step. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. If you repeat this kind of prayer morning and night, you won't just feel spiritual for a moment. You'll slowly retrain your brain to respond to life with more peace, more clarity, and more courage. Chapter 6, Conclusion and Gentle Challenge. So, what does prayer do to your brain? It does much more than we think. It calms the fear center when we pray with trust, not just panic. It strengthens focus and self-control when we pray with attention, not distraction. It builds a deeper sense of connection when we pray as relationship, not just a list of demands. And beyond the brain, for believers, prayer is also a meeting with a living God, a way to align our heart with His, a way to invite His wisdom, not just our own. Here's my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, don't just pray like always. Pick one situation in your life and use this 4-step method once in the morning, once at night. Then come back to this video and tell us, did your feelings change? Did you see small signs, ideas, or unexpected helps? Did your reactions to stress become a little different? Because prayer is not just about asking for miracles out there. It is also about allowing God to slowly rewire what is happening in here. If this video helped you see prayer in a new way, click like so more people can find it. Subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss the next episodes. And in the comments, share one sentence. Here is what I'm going to pray differently starting today. You never know. Your comment might be the confirmation someone else was secretly asking for. If you appreciate clarity without hype or sensationalism, subscribe now. Turn on the bell so you don't miss the next episodes on prayer, the mind, and the science of faith. And right now, drop in the comments the most precise question you'd like to see answered in a future video. See you in the next one.